Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So, y'all, I am going to be totally honest with you. I wasn't going to do any garden tours because I felt like I needed everything to be perfect to be able to show you all. But I know if I'm waiting on perfection and waiting for everything to be done in the garden, you probably would never get it, not for at least a few months. But I am excited to show you what we've done so far, what's growing in the garden, and then also what we're working on and other things that we need to do. And we're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly right now, Japanese beetles. But let's go ahead and let's get started. So I want to start right here in the front of the raised beds. I consider this phase two of the garden. So if you're new to the channel, let me first of all welcome you. My name is Auyanna of Auyanna Plants, where we teach new and beginner gardeners how to start, grow, and maintain a flourishing garden. And we like to grow vegetables, flowers, and herbs all together. And we also offer gardening tips and inspiration. And we are now in Zone 8A in Georgia. Now, if you haven't been with us for a while, we were recently staying in the Savannah area for about 13 years. And we recently moved to the Atlanta area. So this is something new for me. And we're building the garden from scratch. We are literally going from sandy soil to clay soil, and it has been interesting. But I want to start right here because I got to tell y'all something. So these Rudbeckias, I started from seeds back in, I want to say maybe January. I'll have to look at my journal. And these flowers had me waiting so long for them to bloom. And now that they're in bloom, they are absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love them. And I'm not sure. Now, they have some Rudbeckia that are perennials, some that are annuals. And I got to go back and look at the variety. I want to say it's Maya, Maya. And I'll try to make sure that I put the variety on the screen once I look back at my journal. But I do love them. And we also planted some heliotrope from seed. So, y'all, I love to start a lot of things from seed for the simple fact that depending on where you're at, the garden centers really sell the plants that sells in your area. But when you start seeds, you can kind of grow things in your area that you may not normally see at the garden center. And so that's why I love starting my own seeds. And I also like to, just venture out and try new things every single year. So we got this heliotrope that is right here. And these smell really good. It has like a vanilla scent, but I think you may want to look it up before you grow it. I think this is one of the plants where you have to be careful if you have pets, but they smell really, really good. And so we just got some phlox that is right here. We got our Rudbeckia, and we should have the ball dahlia that's going to be coming up really soon. We started those from seed, actually, these ball dahlias that are in the back. Now, the only thing that we had transplants for are the salvia right here, the alyssum, and then I put some small dahlia starts that were right here and hoping that they will kind of flourish. I put those there late because we had, oh, what's this plant? I'll put it on the screen. This one that has the pink bulbs that are coming up, but two of them died. So I popped those there. And so we have those growing as well. Now I'm going to go over here to this bed that I have to kind of edge up. And I want to show you the damage that the Japanese beetles are doing. Okay. This is what Japanese beetle damage look like. And I want to show you what I have collected just today when I came home. Let me show you. This is what I come out and do every single night because they're causing a lot of damage in the garden. But these are our zinnias right here. And then we have vincas. I tell anybody, if you're in the South and you want a tough plant that is going to withstand this heat, withstand dry spells, humid, get you some vincas, okay? Get you some vincas. And so this is what we got when they had a sale. I think it was like two for $3 for a 6 pack, and then for Mother's Day they were giving away a free plant, and this was one of the vincas. And that particular plant, I actually let it stay on the patio because I wasn't sure what color it was. I knew it was a vinca, but it ended up being this exact same color. And then we have some salvia right here that I cut back really hard, deadheaded the blooms, and so now I see more blooms that are starting to come up. But I also see a little bit of pest damage. And then we got dahlias that we started from tubers, that I'm hoping, I think these are purple and pink, or either lavender and purple, one of the two. But let me show you really quick before we go to the raised beds. I want to show you like every night, and I can't get them all because a lot of them fly away. But let me show you the Japanese beetles. So again, this is not all of them because a lot of them fly away, but they've really been going hard on my roses and on my zinnias and on my okra, eggplant, and I'm trying to think what else. Peppers. But I just get some soapy water and I just come and just start knocking them in there. So this is what we have so far. But again, um, I do a garden walk and I just go through and knock them in. But they're being like very disrespectful. And also this, like, we had Japanese beetle in the Savannah area. And if y'all know the white grubs that are in the ground, that's where they start from. We even had those, but this is something new to me because never have I seen them this heavy like this. So this season in this garden, we have a lot of slugs and we also have a lot of Japanese beetles. But I just wanted to show you what I come in and what I do every night as part of my garden walkthrough. Now, each and every week, I have a favorite spot in the garden. And I got to tell y'all, this week, this is my favorite spot. I absolutely love this bed. I love looking out the window at this bed, and it's just so colorful, and everything is doing great. So, I'm going to go really quickly and just kind of go over what we have in the bed. Now, this is the most I've let these sun golds stay on here. So these are the sun gold tomatoes, and I'm telling y'all, every morning I've been coming out here, but I've been gone for like the past couple of mornings. That's why these are able to ripen. But ah, these are good. Like, someone told me about these about 2 to 3 years ago. I didn't have a chance to grow it, but I did get some seeds. And I say, you know what? This is what we're going to plant this year. And what they said, y'all, they are really sweet. Just a pop of sugar in your mouth. The good sugar from the tomatoes. They're really sweet. Like this, these will have you not even want to buy the tomatoes at the store. And so I put up a post because I cannot decide. So y'all put it in the comments. I don't know which variety of marigold that I like between these two. So this is called the triple threat marigold, and we have some basil around here. And I've really been trying hard to come and keep these pinched because I don't want it to go to seed yet. This is basically the flowers going to seed, and sometimes they can change the taste. And so every night I'll try to come and pinch these as well. But again, I love this basil. This is a culinary basil. They were pelleted seeds, and they had three types of basil within the pelleted seeds. They had the regular Genovese basil in here. They also had the purple basil, if you can see it right here. They have the purple basil in here. And then they also have the lettuce leaf basil right here. So we also have some, I want to say this is like a silver thyme. Um, and I love that too. I have not used this in cooking because we have so much time in the garden. Like, seriously, y'all, we have time all over the garden. I'll show you some of the other types. But I thought this would be a nice contrast. But this is the other one. So this is called Proud Mary marigolds. We started those from seeds, and I really need to come in here and start deadheading some of the older spent blooms. But I'm going to step back, and I want y'all to really put it in the comments. Which marigold do you like the best? Do you like the Proud Mary, which this is it? Or do you like the triple threat? I don't know. I got a feeling that I'm going to grow both of them next season. So, this is also a favorite bed for me this week as well. So, let's talk about what's in this bed. So, we have some petunias here that I've really been trying to get trained to stay off of the pepper plants because it kept going over here, and I actually wanted to train it to go down the bed. And then we have some zinnias that really has taken some damage from the Japanese beetles as well. But these are pink right here. And then I think these are the same. And our cucumbers are doing really good. I do like this variety because you can harvest them at different stages. I've actually been harvesting them around this stage. If you've ever heard of like the piccolini cucumbers, this is more of what they are like. And so I have been trying to train this one to stay over here and stop using its tendrils to go to the basil because that's what it's been doing. I really got a little frightened because one, I was trying to train it, broke that off, but it has recovered well and it's still growing and they're still being pollinated. And so I'll make sure that I link the video where we're growing our cucumbers. I think it's honey bush, where it's like 40 days that we're going to get ready to go ahead and place in the ground. And then we finally got banana peppers starting to grow on here with more basil. And then these are the super, I want to say these are super sweet tomatoes right here, but these are good too. And I have been coming and harvesting some of these as well in the morning, but they're really good. I feel like with this petunia, we started these from seed. And I did a video where they're supposed to be, I think, called Spellbound White, where they're supposed to have the purple throat and the white. But you see, they took back on some of the parent properties, and so some of them are purple. They're not supposed to be like this, but it's cool. I really like that as well. But I got to come in and prune them back because I feel like they're getting leggy. And you know how some petunias are self cleaning. I feel like I just need to cut that back and then let it continue to grow. And then again, we have some more of the gem marigold and some more basil. I really need to get um, busy. I really need to get busy on this basil right here because I see a lot of it is trying to start to flower and we don't want it to do that. Now, right here, I stuck this tomato here. They're supposed to be, I want to say like a bluish black color tomato. So I'm waiting to see if they'll get that color. And then we have some more of the sunflowers that are right here. Okay, so here are a bed of more tomatoes. And what I've been doing, y'all, I'm not going to say I did it on purpose because I didn't, but it worked out to be very well to where I've had to stagger the growth of how I plant the tomatoes. So this bed had got put in first, but I still had lettuce that was growing here. And so I kept that. And then once it was time to pull the lettuce, these got put in. So it's going to be great because when you are growing determinate tomatoes, you harvest them all at once. So this will give me a chance when it's time to harvest these. These won't be ready yet, so I can just kind of give myself a little break until it is time to harvest more. So they're planted at different phases, which worked out really well. And so we have all determinate tomatoes right here with some zinnias that are growing and then some dahlias that I do need to come in and kind of deadhead so that I can keep those blooms coming. And here is another type of uh, thyme. This is called lime thyme. It has a nice, it really has a nice lime scent to it. And so we're just going to let those grow. And I'm going to turn around right here because this is another tomato that seems like a little jungle up here. And I'm watching because this one looks like it's starting to have blossom end rot. And so I'm keeping my eye on that one. I'll probably pull that one, but we do have a lot of tomatoes that are coming on. And as I'm looking at them, I really need to come in and treat this right here. They have some they have a lot of things that you could do for the blossom end rot. Now these have looked like they've gotten too far, but what I'll do, it was a spray that I used to use that was organic that you could spray on the tomatoes to kind of stop it. So we'll do that, but all of them are not, they don't look affected like that. So we'll take care of that tomorrow. And then I have more cucumbers and peppers that are right here. And then we got some dahlias, some sunflowers, and then some things that I didn't get a chance to plant that have basically died out. But that's okay. I'm ready to see the dahlias. The cucumbers, we're going to go ahead and get trained up. These are burpless cucumbers that we got starts right here. And you can see the tendrils that are trying to catch on to this. So we'll help it out a little bit and go ahead and let those start climbing up. And this is yet another time. This is called Foxley thyme. That is right here. And then our gem marigold. So let's talk about this bed right here. I recently had to switch out some plants because we had a gem marigold that was right here, just like this one, that wasn't doing well. The slugs were actually eating those. And then we had a calendula that was, I loved. We started that in the fall, but it was starting to flop all over here. So I went ahead and pulled that up because we're going to grow some more calendula towards the fall again, because I like to grow a lot of that to last me to make the calendula salve. And I've also been using it in tea. And we're finally starting to get some jalapeno peppers, and I actually pulled like a couple and put those in the house. And I don't really eat hot peppers, y'all. I'll tell you that now. But I'll probably put like a little bit, like a really small amount. Like when I harvest the tomatoes and make like salsa, I'll probably put like a really small amount. When I say small, I mean small. Now, if you've been following us, I told you the experiment that I was gonna try. It worked, but I personally didn't stay on top of it. So I was going to try to train the zucchini, which let me tell you, the stems did get hard. So my purpose of doing the experiment was to train it in this tomato cage, train it up, and I was continuously cutting the lower leaves off, as you can see. So I was cutting the leaves off so that the stem could get hard. Now the stem is really hard. However, I didn't cut the leaves off. I didn't stay on top of it. But this plant right here, I know that Chris is probably getting tired of zucchini because I just yesterday sauteed some zucchini, some squash, some mushroom, onions, a tomato that I pulled out the garden. Like we just had a vegetable medley. I'll put that picture up there. I actually did a short, y'all, of what you could do when you grow your own garden. I did. I put a short up there, and I'll link that. But we've been getting lots of zucchini. I can say that this plant is really performing. I'll probably come in tomorrow and take off some of the lower leaves, and then take off some of these leaves so that it doesn't block the zinnias right here. And then we got some more Proud Mary plants. This is the celosia Asian garden, I want to say, that I planted late. And I've only harvested two of the sunstriped tomato. I always have to tell people this is how the leaves are. It's not powdery mildew, but these are how these particular leaves look. And so I've harvested only two of the sunstripe, and they look like this. And we got a couple that are coming on again, but they're not as prolific as the zucchini. So let's talk about this space right here that's doing well. I'm trying to stay on top of this Alberta peach tomato so that none of the stems go outside. I had a couple of tomatoes that I'll show you where the stems went outside, and I didn't want to break it. So I just kind of clipped it on the outside. But this is where we planted the Alberta peach tomato, and we have some that are starting to form. And then this is our gem. And as you saw, with this whole row right here, we have the Grow Oya. And we do have a link for a discount. I'll put that in the description. But this is really helpful, y'all. And it's really helpful for me in the summertime because all I do is come out and fill this up. So I keep it filled. But then I will also, when it's time to feed, then I'll just feed the plants. And tucked over here in our little corner is the lemongrass is growing great. Our citrus is growing great. This was the Arctic Frost Satsuma, and then we have the alyssum at the bottom. And so the violas were right here, and y'all know that's more of a cool weather plant for us. So I popped in the lemon slice calibrachoa. It did have one bloom on here, but I'm gonna actually cut it back just a little bit and let that go. And then we started these geraniums from seed. And finally, y'all, it's like a few of the plants that I started from seed, like they were really making me wait, but they finally have started blooming. And then I'm waiting on this one. So we started these from seed too. It's a type of salvia, but it's more of a compact one, and so we'll see what that does. And then we have a couple of more in ground beds where we popped some tomatoes, some peppers. We popped in some verbena, the agastache. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was just popping in things because I had way too many plants, so I was just popping them in. But they seem to be doing good. I'm monitoring this okra back here because we did have some slugs back here. This was a late plant too. You probably can't hardly see it, but it's there. But I'll show you the other bed to where the Japanese beetles have damaged. But hopefully, I still have faith that we can get okra from it because I just saw a flower the other day. So let's talk about the herb garden. Some of it is getting tired, but I'll tell you why I have it stand like this is because it wasn't my intention. It really was not my intention to collect the cilantro seeds. But when I saw the flowers, the white flowers, and I saw the pollinators were really loving it, I could not pull it. So now that they've started to form the coriander seeds, I'm just really waiting on these to dry up so that we can harvest them. Some of them we'll save for seed, and then some of them we'll put in our spice cabinet and we'll have coriander. And so I have been also letting the calendula go to seed, and so that I can save seed. So every day, what I do is I wait till these turn brown. And so when they're like this, I let them stay a little bit longer, but I'll go back here and I probably pick some like maybe every other day, but I'm waiting for them to get the brown color, and then that's when I harvest them. But I can guarantee you, we're probably going to have some that pop up, some volunteers in this bed right here, just because I try to stay on top of it. But hey, you still might miss some. So I got to show y'all the newest blooms in the herb garden, and that is the bee balm, honey. Okay, I want y'all to see these colors really quickly. This probably is my favorite, really. Really, really, really. But the bees love it, y'all. The bees absolutely love it. We had a hummingbird moth, but the bee balm is the latest of the blooms, and I'm absolutely loving this area right now. I really feel bad because we got some more time right here that's getting smothered right over here. It's getting smothered, but I'll once I pull these calendula, then they should be okay and be able to get some light. And also somewhere down here I can see was ours the tar. So I'm really um, I'm going to start another round of calendula seeds. So this area may be bare over the next few weeks. Once I collect all my seeds, collect all my flowers, it may remain bare, and then we'll start some more seeds because it's getting hot, y'all. It's in the 90s now, so that way, coming towards fall, we can start some more and have enough. But I just love the way this looks. And I intentionally bought these colors right here of the bee balm so that I can have this effect. And so I'm going to remove the strawberries and put those in what we have now coined as a berry lane. And the nasturtium has been acting as a trap crop. Trap crop. We're going to also start another round of seed towards um, the end of the summer so that we can have those in fall. And the hummingbirds, y'all, I keep seeing them every single day because this pineapple sage is starting to put on those beautiful red blooms. And so they love it. They really love it. But let me show you what I see. I don't have my cup, but I'm gonna show you in just a second. So over here, right here, he might fly off. It's a Japanese beetle, and I don't have my cup. Don't have my cup to knock them in. And I'm trying to make sure I've been seeing a few squash bugs too. But the pineapple sage is really nice. The leaves smell like pineapple. It's really a nice plant to grow in the garden. These are probably three together that have gotten so big. Y'all, when I grew this in Savannah, it didn't get this big. So it must be really, really happy right here. Go to the second part of the L-shaped bed, and this is our holy basil. And we're growing three different types. So I've made a tincture out of one. I've dried the leaves out of one. But this one right here, which I consider the temperate holy basil, this is my favorite. They consider this one a African, I think it's like African blue basil. If you like a lot of clove undertones, then this to me has more of a clove flavor. I can't tell you what flavor this has, but it's really good. And I'm gonna do another harvest because I really like to harvest before they go to seed. But as you can see, I just took a harvest of these where I cut them. You see how the leaves are coming out, and they are a workhorse. Now this one, I think this is the Krishna. Yeah, this is the Krishna right here. It may be a little bit slower because it probably gets more shade from the trees and then these are taken over, but that's totally okay. I'll have a big space for it probably next year. And then within this herb garden, we have some anise hyssop that's starting to get the flowers, some oregano that's starting to go to flowers that I'm going to cut back. That's why I was telling you we got plenty of time, y'all. So we got some more time right here. We got some marjoram over here. I just did a big chop of this lemon verbena, and we dried that, if you can tell. So we just went in and cut that back. We have some stevia that's growing over here. We have lemon balm, which I need to do a nice harvest of. And then this is the true hyssop right here. So a lot of herbs, lavender over here, and then I put a little bit of lavender right here. So a lot of herbs, and I'm really enjoying like mixing all type of teas up every night, just depending on how my body feels, what the taste I'm looking for. Now tonight it probably will be holy basil again, but I really love this herb garden. To be honest, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I wish I had a went bigger. I really wish I had a went bigger. And depending on how big the greenhouse is, I may have Renew Urban Gardens come out again because these are two L shaped. I may have them build two L shapes to in the back to make it like four corners. I'm not sure because I got some more herbs that I really want to grow. So I want to talk about this area really quickly, and this is where we put in our ginger right here. Our turmeric is coming up, a little bit more beetle damage, and then these are our containers right here, our figs, and our lavender. Now I have been cutting some lavender and using it in tea as well, but this one right here, I'm going to cut it back, and I know that the bees, they're gonna have to find somewhere else temporarily, but they really love this lavender right here. And then the green beans. So we planted some direct sowed some green beans, which I really need to come in and water. I really need to do that before I go in. Um, We planted green beans and we should have them soon, but it's just a variety of green, yellow, and the purple green beans. And then this tomato right here, y'all, I'm going to work on myself. I have got to work on myself with this labeling. But in my defense, the these are the ones I got at Growers Outlet, and they didn't have the tag. They just had the sticker on the outside of the pot. And so if I didn't make a label, which I didn't, then I just lost what it was. But I can tell you this is an indeterminate one because this tomato cage is about 7 feet and I have been keeping it trimmed. So I've been trimming everything. But I did harvest a tomato from here and it was so flavorful. And then we got like a patch of dahlias that's growing. And then it seems like the eggplant is starting to take on growth. We started this from seed as well. This was called Little Fingers. And what happened was it started taking a lot of damage from either the slugs or the beetles, but it looks like it's bouncing back and about to get ready to start to shine. I did let this time go to seed because I tell y'all when I see the bees over it, I was gonna cut it back. I still may cut it back, but I just seen bees were all over it, and so I left it alone. And then this winter savory that I grew from seed, I'm gonna cut this and try it. But it smells good. I'm telling y'all, it smells like a cross between thyme and oregano. It's like both of them together. And then over here, this okra is taking it's taking some damage too. But I did see a flower the other day, so hopefully we can at least have some okra. And they'll just leave some of my plants alone, y'all. So I want to finish up and show you this bed right here where we have some sage here, some oregano that we cut back, tomatoes that are growing, Tabasco. I'm going to make some like the pepper sauce where I pour the vinegar in, and my family likes to put that on their greens. So I'm gonna make it for them because y'all know how I am with different hot peppers. And then I deadheaded this speed wheel right here that was pink, and already in less than a week, can y'all see the new blooms that are coming back on? And these pepper plants, they're really trying hard. But I am happy to report that the Armenian cucumbers that I didn't think was going to make it because the slugs took out all of the marigold, they are thriving now. So now what I'm going to do is thin them out and start training them to go up this trellis. Okay, and our last raised beds, y'all, these sunflowers were so pretty. I think, yeah, they're called junior sunflowers, but they have multiple heads. Really nice. We have some cherry tomatoes that are growing. Now, what I will tell you is this particular cherry tomato right here, the flavor is amazing. It is amazing. I'm walking on this side right here because these are like, were these grapes or cherries? These were these were cherries too, but the flavor is not as, these might be grapes, but the flavor was not there. Not like the ones that I just showed you. Like these right here will make you just start dancing. Okay, these will make you start dancing. These are okay, but they're still homegrown and they're still good. Some more pepper plants that are taking a little bit of damage. This is like the hot and spicy oregano right here, and we have some dahlias that I'm waiting to grow, and then more tomatoes. Now, the only reason why I remember the name of this tomato right here, these are the pineapple tomatoes. They're going to be like a yellow and a red, and I just remember these right here because when I looked at the picture on there, I thought it would be really cool to grow some that look this color. And so since the dahlias didn't make it, we went ahead and I'm sorry, since the marigolds didn't make it, we went ahead and just put some dahlias in here, which I do need to deadhead. So I want to show y'all a sneak peek of what is going to be considered Pollinator Island. Slowly but surely, I'm getting these in the ground, but I think it's going to be amazing, and I think the birds are really going to be appreciative. Not only the birds, but all of the pollinators. They're going to be really appreciative. I got all type of plants in here that are pollinator friendly, but we're doing a separate video on that, and I will show you that once it is done. So let's go ahead and end up front, y'all. In the front, because as you can see, my lights are coming on, so that means it's getting dark. But it's like next over the next few days, it's going to be upper 90s, and that does not include the heat index. I did cut back these flocks, and they have came back amazing. We have more heliotrope. Now I put these Shasta daisies here, but they trying. They really trying, and they trying hard. And I know that they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. I just got to give them a little pep talk and weed in here. And then I'm waiting for the alliums to go ahead and teeter out. The bees are all over these too. These were like the drumstick alliums. The Shaberti alliums were right there. I just used that in there as like interest, because it really looked like fireworks. It really did. But it was really pretty. If I see any more of those this fall when they put out the fall bulbs, I will get some more because I really like those. And so this is just some dahlias that we've planted. I'm waiting for those to come up, and then some more. These are a miniature type daisy. They don't get any, I don't think they get taller than this, but this is the heliotrope also that we planted from seed. And every time I walk by here, it smells so good. Okay. And then we have our containers that are growing. And I want to take you to the rose garden really quickly, because I'm going to pop some more plants in there. They're not perennials, but if I can find a low growing perennial, I'll put it in there. But for now, they're annuals. So everything is starting to grow and starting to really look good, y'all. Like, I'm pleased with this area. Again, I have one rose back there that didn't make it. And so far, we've had two roses that didn't make it. And so I really need to call about that. But however, I popped some gumfrena in this area right here that has really taken off. I only planted these like maybe a week ago, and they have really taken off. And I got one more tray where I saw a couple of plants that didn't make it. I'm gonna pop those there. But I ended up getting some angelonias from the garden center. Now, they were supposed to be on clearance, and I looked at my receipt. I had some other stuff, and I kept saying, that seems like a lot. She charged me regular price. She did, but it was hot that day, and I was like, you know what? I ain't even finna go back. I just can't go back. It was just too hot. So they got me that day. They did. But these are like a lavender and then a dark purple. So we're going to put these here because if you remember, I had some white snowdrift. This is just the remnants of it. I had white snowdrift that was down here. And I know they're supposed to come back, but I don't like the way it's looking. Like, everything looks good when you first walk in, and this just is not pleasing to my eye. And then we also have the cone flowers that are starting to flower. It looks like the other two are coming up and starting to catch on. And they grow differently. I was getting a little scared with those as well, but I can tell that they're starting to come. But this one is like in the lead. And then these roses are so pretty. So these are Olivia Austin right here. And I think I did as a short as well on those for the blooms. But I can tell you got a lot of Japanese beetle damage. And then I want to say this one is the James Austin right here, but it's also really pretty as well. So I won't put anything else there because once it starts to fill in, this whole area will be filled up right here. And these white roses are really nice too. And y'all, I was just looking on this fence. He slithered away, but it was a slug that was on there. So that's why I'm saying, this happens. And then we also got our daylilies that I want to say is like pink and purple, but it really is, everything is coming along. But that's why I said I wanted to share this with y'all, because if I wait until I plant everything, it will probably be a few months from now. And so I just really want to stop buying plants. I really do, so that I can get done what I needed to do. But I'm gonna show you something. Like, I couldn't resist this, and I had no business buying this. But let me show you something. I had no business, y'all, buying these, but I just happened to walk in one day looking for. Oh, I really was looking for something specific. I really was, and the girl had just marked these down. Can y'all see this? You see 50 cents. Like, I I I couldn't leave those plants there, and they're perennials. And once I get done with the Pollinator Island, I will see if any places have holes in it, and I'll pop these right here. The only thing I didn't like about these plants, and all they need is deadheading. It's nothing wrong with them, and some water. They need some water. But I didn't like what they said the height was on here. Like, it's a big gap with the height. And so I'm like, oh, that kind of I'm gonna be I'm just gonna have to watch them and see how high they get. Like, it's a big gap. You know how normally things might say 10 to 12 or 12 to 14 or something like this. But this right here, you may want it to stay 6 inches in height, but it may grow to 30 inches in height. So that's the only thing that I'm gonna have to be aware of wherever I plant it, so that it doesn't block out all of the other things. Okay, so the solar lights are starting to come on. Not all of them are on, but this is how the garden looks at night, y'all. And it looks so pretty. I'm going to put the camera right there if you can see back to the herb garden. But I really just love looking outside this window, looking at everything. Now, before I go in the house, I got to harvest those tomatoes. But I hope that you all enjoyed this garden tour. I'm going to try to do one next month so that you can see the progress of it, so that you can see what's changed in the garden. So, as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching. And until the next video, bye bye.